Yes, hello. Welcome to my brand new YouTube channel, The Arsenal Wolf. Listen, the year's 2026. You got to stay in the mix. Everyone and their mum has a damn YouTube channel nowadays. So I thought, you know what? Why not? Why not kick off my own channel? Shoot, I got something to say. Why not get things off my chest? Why not? So listen, hello to wherever you are in the world. You know, I'm here in London. I understand that the internet is worldwide. So listen, I thought I was going to sit here and talk about tactics and Arsenal and blah, blah, the players, Arteta. And I thought, you know what, let me just do a video about giving you an introduction to me, like how I started supporting Arsenal. And, you know, my channel is going to be a faceless channel. I'd rather be anonymous, but let me just talk about how I came to support the Arsenal. So basically, as a kid, I didn't like football. Went into it at all. Didn't watch it. I didn't mind running around the playground, kicking around with your mates. But that was about it. I had no interest. But having said that, I did watch the World Cup '86. Because back then, I don't know, nowadays it just feels like a tournament. But then it was really special. I don't know, just had this aura around it, the World Cup. You know, I remember the hand of God and all that, Maradona. I remember watching the final and the ticker tape coming down at the end and all that. And listen, I had the Panini stickers. I had them. I had the book, the sticker book. You know, you go into school with your mates. You know, got, need. If you know, you know. Kind of showing my age here. And yeah, look, cat's out the bag. So I was born 78, so I'm a real 80s baby. But like I said, I just wasn't into football. And I don't know what happened, how it happened, but I must have been about, 10, 11-ish. And all of a sudden, I just started having a liking to football. I don't know where it came from. And it was funny, I almost had to admit it to myself that I started liking football, kind of thing. And yeah, I got into it. And the next thing was to find a team. And even though I knew jack all about football, I understood one thing, that when you pick a team, it's till the casket drops. You know, you don't switch teams, you don't flip-flop. I knew that. So I had to pick a team, I had to commit. I know some people like to flip-flop, but that's not my style. You know, I had to pick one. So like I said, I live in London, and I was leaning towards the Arsenal. And around that time, they were heavy. They were successful. George Graham was the manager. They had won the league. They only lost one game. They were like real hard to beat. You know, strong defense. Sound familiar? History repeating itself, maybe. But yeah, I was leaning heavily towards Arsenal. You know, I knew they just ran London. It was always us against the teams. Like the teams up north always used to dominate. For example, Leeds United. People might look at them now and think they're nothing, but they won the last Division 1 title. You know, they won the last one before it turned into the Premier League. You know, it's always been Liverpool and Man U and them lot up there. Every teams like Sheffield Wednesday, they were strong as well. And yes, I was leaning heavily towards Arsenal, but I didn't quite commit. I also had a soft spot for Crystal Palace. Ian Wright up front. There was something about this guy, I don't know. He was just my favourite player. I could just see he was that damn good. And Ian Wright, Mark Bright up front. You know, they were dynamic duo. There's a real problem. You know, John Salako, he was unplayable. Lombardi on the other wing. Eric Young, dark-skinned black guy with a headband on his head. He played for Wales. How he worked that out, I'll never know. I will never know. But it is what it is. But they had a real decent team. So I had a soft spot for them. And it was Ian Wright. And listen, I was leaning towards Arsenal. But there was something that didn't make me commit at first, and it was really weird because I just for some reason I clocked on at that age that people hated Arsenal. I couldn't tell you what it was or why. You know, I'd even ask people older than me. I mean, like later down the line, you know, I'd ask people, why was it back then that everyone just hated Arsenal? But when you see all this stuff going on nowadays with everyone hating on Arsenal, it's always been that way. George Graham used to tell the players that it's coming from Campbell, R.I.P. Campbell, and Paul Merson and that. George Graham used to say, look, they're against us. We know that the fans, the media, and that, we know they hate us. You know, but that's what spurred them on back then. You know, they used it as fuel, as energy. Do you know what I mean? It's always been a bit. The only difference is now is everyone in their mum's got a voice, ain't they? Everyone in their little peanut head's got a voice. So everyone just hates Arsenal. Everyone's there, jump on the bandwagon, and etc. They hate us when we're winning, when we're successful. Let's get it straight. Yeah, they don't want to see us do what we're doing. So, like to further my point, I remember as a kid, I was watching something on the telly, and there was this like a game show. It had celebrities on there. You had like, it was like general questions, whatever, general knowledge questions. You had like 4 or 5 people on one panel, and 4 or 5 celebrities on the other panel. And the woman goes to one guy on the panel. She said something like, I can't remember who the people were, or whatever. But I was a little kid, and she said to him something like, oh, well, the question must have been something to do with football. And she said to him like, oh, yeah, are you an Arsenal fan then? And the guy screwed up his face like he smelled a bag of doo-doo. He screwed up his face in disgust and was like, ugh, no. Ugh, Arsenal, them, no. Nobody likes them. I hate them. No one likes them. And never 2 guys on the same panel, they screwed up their faces, shaking their head. And I thought, whoa, what's this? Why do people hate Arsenal? I couldn't get it. So then I just couldn't get. I just can't understand. And then there was every instance I'd see in the media. There'd be little things against us, and I thought, why do people hate this club? What? So this was holding me back a little bit from supporting, even though I was heavily leaning towards supporting them. I just couldn't understand what the hatred, where it came from. And this to show you, it's always been there. People older than me will tell you it's always been there. So yeah, it was just a weird thing, but I was heavily leaning towards supporting Arsenal, and I knew once you commit, you couldn't just pull out. You know, this ain't no condom business. You know, you couldn't just pull out. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm sitting there, and as time went past, I remember we didn't have easy access to things. I wasn't following all the games, but that's who I was heavily following, and I remember Ian Wright, who I already said, I really liked Ian Wright. And I just thought, you know, he ended up signing for Arsenal. And it was like a hand to a glove. The club I was leaning towards, and then my favourite player signing for him. And I thought, well, it's meant to be, it's destiny. Do you know what I mean? It was perfect, you know? So that was beautiful. I thought it's got to be Arsenal then. And then what cemented it for me was the day that, listen, check this out. This is really weird. You probably never hear anyone say this in your life, but it was weird. This is how I knew. Again, Arsenal was in the FA Cup, and this was like 91 or 92. I think it was early 92, January 92 or something. And Arsenal played Wrexham in the FA Cup. So I'm a kid. I was getting ready to go down the road and play some arcades. And just before I left out, I've gone in the kitchen. I thought, let me grab a quick sandwich and then head up the road. So I turned the telly on, gone round to the fridge, and the telly come on. Lo and behold, it's the 6 o'clock news. And Arsenal have just been knocked out the FA Cup by Wrexham. Blah, blah, blah. What? Who? I turned round my head. I was literally looking at the TV sideways, trying to work out what the hell is going. What did you just say? Couldn't believe it. Disbelief. I didn't even want to eat a sandwich again. You know? I left out. There was some arcades. I'm a gamer. That's something for another day, but I do like video games. There was some arcades near to me, but the particular ones I wanted to go to were like a good 15 to 20 minutes walk. You know, I'd usually have my headphone, my Walkman on, and I'd be, bop really hard and get there in 15 to 20 minutes. Listen, that day it took me about 25 minutes to get there, maybe even half an hour. It took me a lot. I was just dwindling, had my head down, depressed, couldn't get out my head, strolling. I just couldn't understand. I knew nothing about football, if I'm being honest, but I knew that shouldn't be happening. Simple as that. And it hit me for 6. It really hit me for 6. I couldn't get out of my head. I was down. And that's when I said, holy shoot, I must be an Arsenal fan. You gotta be, right? And that is the day Arsenal gained a new fan. I just knew that was it. So Ian Wright signing for him was one thing, but the day they got knocked out by Wrexham, that hit me so bad. I was like, well, you must be out, and I committed, and that's it till the casket drops, mate. I'm so glad I did, because I love the Arsenal as many of you do, But that's the basis of my story. That's how I ended up supporting Arsenal. But it just goes to show that all this hatred we get nowadays is nothing new. What's that old saying? There's nothing new under the sun. It's the same old stuff. To me, it's just a rerun. It's the same old. It's never been that. It's always been that way. So it comes with success. So soak it up, guys. Just embrace it, love it. I know I do, and I love drinking their tears. I love it. With this talk, no bottle and all this blah blah, and the disrespect and the nonsense with West Ham the other day. Everyone's got a blasted opinion. Your opinions are gender based. You're big goofy. No one cares. It's us against the world, innit? You got these lot cheating left, right, and centre. Chelsea, Man City, this, that. They looking at Arsenal. They get the hell out of it. I mean, go bury your head in the sand. Go. Go and bake a cake or something. Keep your ass busy. Stay off our case. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's the basis of it, man. And if I'm being honest, with Arsenal, my parents had Sky TV, and I remember the big promotion pack they did for the Premier League. And you had that. I always liked that song, that U2 song. Was it Beautiful Day? It's a beautiful day. Da, 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 beautiful day. Woo-hoo-hoo. Always like that song. Excuse the singing. It's trash, I know. But I always like that song, and the big promotion video they had good old Anders Limpar representing the club, cult legend at the club. Every club had one player representing them, and that was our player. And I remember that promotional video, and that's when I really, that's when all the players, all the keeping up with all of it. Anytime they're live, you're watching it. Them days you weren't easy access. You couldn't just watch live. You'd have to stick the radio on, and it might not even be on the radio. You'd have to check CFAX every 5 minutes. Has it changed? Has it changed yet? Sometimes you just leave CFAX up there. Do you know what I mean? It was different them days, man. But we got the internet now, so literally the gift and the curse, the internet. This blasted technology they got. But yeah, that's my story, mate. That's my story. And look, I'm gonna try and upload a video every day. Try and grow the channel. Please hit the like button and subscribe. I'm gonna do the usual stuff. Previews, reviews, and all that, and good debates and etc. But yeah, man, we're all here for the Arsenal and just football in general. I love football. But salute to you wherever you are in the world. Hope you're having a good one, and stay tuned, man, and stay tuned. I'll be back tomorrow, man. All the best. The Arsenal Wolf.